Level 1. The Sign. You are born on the same night a wonder of the world burns. The Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, 7 stories of marble, one of the greatest structures ever built by human hands, collapses into ash the night you arrive. The priests say Artemis let it burn because she was in Macedonia attending your birth. Your father Philip is not there. He is off winning a war. You arrive into the world in Pella, 356 BC, the son of a king, and a mother who tells you from the very first night that Philip is not your real father. Your real father, she says, is a god. Your mother Olympias keeps snakes in her bed. She performs rites that drive men mad to watch. She leans over your cradle and says the same thing every night. You are not a boy. You are a weapon pointed at the world. You believe her. Level 2. The Teacher. You are 13. Your father brings a philosopher from Athens to tutor you, a man named Aristotle. Most kings send a priest. Philip sends the greatest mind alive. 3 years, one-on-one. Philosophy, medicine, botany, rhetoric, warfare, ethics. Aristotle gives you a personal copy of the Iliad. You annotate every page. You sleep with it under your pillow beside a dagger. When someone asks what your 2 most prized possessions are, you name them both. No one asks which one you reach for first. Level 3. The Regent. You are 16. Philip rides north to war and leaves Macedonia in your hands, not as a symbol, as a real decision. If the kingdom burns while he is gone, it burns under you. Within months, a Thracian tribe in the north rebels. You don't send a general, you go yourself. The campaign is fast and total. You defeat them. You capture their city and rename it Alexandropolis, the first city to carry your name. You are 16. It will not be the last city. Level 4. The Fracture. You are 19. Your father remarries, a Macedonian noblewoman. One of Philip's generals stands at the wedding feast, drunk, and says it loud enough for the room to hear. Now there might finally be a legitimate heir. You throw your cup. Philip draws his sword and lunges at you across the table, and falls, face down, on the floor. The room goes dead silent. You look at the most powerful king in Greece, lying in the spilled wine, and say, "Look, men, here is a man who plans to cross from Europe to Asia, and he cannot even make it from couch to couch." You leave that night. You take your mother. You go into exile. Neither of you has any doubt you will be back. Level 5. The Throne. You are 20. Philip is dead. At a wedding ceremony. In a theater. In front of thousands of people. One of his own bodyguards drives a blade through his ribs between the seats and the stage. The reasons are still debated by historians. What is not debated is what happens in the next 12 hours. You move faster than anyone believes is possible. Rivals are dead or gone by nightfall. The army swears loyalty within days. Every Greek city that celebrated Philip's assassination receives a visit they do not enjoy. Greece goes quiet. You look at the empire your father spent 30 years building. You decide it is a starting point. Level 6. The Knot. You are 22. You arrive at Gordium. A wagon sits in the city's temple, its yoke bound by a knot so complex that no one has ever undone it. The prophecy is known across the ancient world. Whoever unties the Gordian knot will rule all of Asia. A crowd fills the temple to watch you study it. You work your hands across the rope for a long moment. Then you draw your sword. The 2 halves fall to the ground. Some accounts say you found the hidden pin and dismantled it cleanly. The truth has never mattered as much as the lesson. You do not solve a problem the way the problem expects to be solved. You decide what solving means. The prophecy counts it. So do you. Level 7. The Door of the World. You are 25. The Persian Empire has stood for 200 years. Its king, Darius III, fields an army of over 100,000 men at Gaugamela. You bring 47,000. The night before the battle, one of your generals suggests hitting them in the dark. Reduce the numbers, minimize the risk. You refuse. You say, "I will not steal my victory." Dawn breaks cold over the plain. Your cavalry punches a gap through the Persian line that should not exist. You drive through it yourself, straight toward Darius. He breaks. The king of the largest empire on earth turns his chariot and flees. His army collapses. Babylon opens its gates without a single arrow fired. You walk through the Ishtar Gate in full armor. The city lines the streets to watch. You do not burn it. Level 8. The Fire. You are 25. Persepolis, the Persian capital, is yours. You let your men loot it. What happens next is either a calculated act of political symbolism or a drunken mistake that could not be undone with the morning. The palace of Xerxes, the king who burned Athens 150 years before you, catches fire. It burns for days. When the ash settles, the Persian Empire has no capital, no king, no center. Whether you planned it or not, you stood in the smoke, and then you kept walking east. Level 9, The Edge. You are 28. You have been marching for 6 years. Egypt, Persia, Central Asia, the Hindu Kush, crossed twice in winter. Every general who told you it could not be done is now standing on the other side of it. You reach the Hydaspes River in India. You defeat the last great army in your path. War elephants, chariots, a king named Porus who fights so well that when it is over, you give him his kingdom back. Then your army sits down. They will not move. 8 years from home. Wives they do not remember. Children they have never held. You go into your tent and do not come out for 3 days. When you emerge, you give the order to turn back. It is the only command you ever gave that you did not believe in. Level 10. The Desert. You are 29. The march home through the Gedrosian Desert kills more of your men than most of your battles combined. Heat. No water. Sand that shifts and swallows supply carts whole. Men lie down and do not get back up. You refuse to ride. You walk beside them. When a scout crawls miles through the dunes and brings you a helmet filled with water, a gift meant only for you, you pour it into the sand in front of every man watching. If they cannot drink, you will not drink. They would walk through fire for you. Some already have. Some are about to. Level 11, The Unraveling. You are 31. The empire is intact. It is the largest in human history. It is you that has changed. The campaigns have fused with something darker. Generals who question you disappear. Friends you loved like brothers die by your order. You begin wearing Persian robes. You demand the Persian prostration, forehead to the floor. From Macedonian men who have bled beside you for a decade. Some do it, some cannot. The boy who slept with the Iliad under his pillow has started believing what his mother whispered in the dark. He is no longer entirely sure that a man's rules apply to him. Level 12. Babylon. You are 32. The priests tell you not to enter the city. The omens are wrong. The sacrificed animals keep presenting the same malformed sign. Every reading points one direction. You try to reroute. The alternate path is flooded and impassable. You enter Babylon anyway. You begin planning the next campaign. Arabia, then Carthage, then the ends of the earth. There is still so much further to go. At a drinking party in June, you drain a cup, then another. By the end of the night, a fever arrives that will not break. You do not rise from your bed again. Level 13. The last room. You are 32. Your generals file past the bed one by one. They ask who you leave the empire to. You say, to the strongest. They ask what you want for your funeral rites. You give your final instruction. Leave my hands outside the shroud. Let the world see that even the one who had everything leaves with his hands empty. 12 years of marching, 5 million square miles, 20 cities from Egypt to Pakistan carrying your name. You came from a mountain kingdom and one woman's ambition. You turned it into a legend. You turned it into Alexander. The room goes still. Outside, the empire is already beginning to fracture. You are no longer there to hold it together.